Northern Irishman Michael McGovern is one of the most likeable characters you could meet in football or indeed life. He had a top goalkeeping career at club and international level, with his late beloved wife a massive influence and inspiration. I'm Derek McGregor and this is One on One, and Michael pays an emotional tribute to Leanne, who sadly passed away 2 months ago. But he also provides a fascinating chat into a story-filled life and career up until now. Michael, great to see you.
Likewise.
I know it's been an especially tough time for you and your 2 children, Kieran, Megan. A couple of months ago, there was a heartbreaking loss of your beloved wife and obviously their mother. At the time you referred to Leanne as amazing, which I think pretty much says it all. Really difficult coming through that, Michael. I hope you're okay. I hope the kids are okay.
Yeah, I mean, obviously incredibly difficult. Leanne had a really rare form of cancer, and she got diagnosed with that nearly 5 years ago, and she fought it bravely. She didn't want anybody to know about her cancer, really. She didn't want any pity or to be treated differently, which is really admirable. So not a lot of people knew about it, and she had treatment, and eventually, unfortunately, the cancer won, and she passed away. And obviously, we miss her dearly. She was the centre of our family, but you know, she gave so much to the kids. Like, she had such a strong mindset. She was emotionally intelligent, but would also just crack on with life. She wouldn't suppress things, and I think the kids have the same attitude, and they've been amazing. So yeah, no, it's a horrible thing to happen, but you know, we're just continuing to live and continuing to crack on, because that's all we can do.
An inspirational person, fantastic mother, clearly, and I'm sure a huge influence in your career as well.
Yeah, 100%. You know, she gave up her job as a primary school teacher so that I could, especially when we were down in Norwich, look after the kids and bring them up. And obviously she would like to have had longer with the kids. You know, we spoke about this, so we knew this day was going to come. But you know, the principles and the core values that she's installed, you know, they'll be with the kids for life. And you know, an inspirational person who we miss every day, and we always will.
Yeah, tragically she's not here, but you know, in a sense she'll always be with you and Kieran and Megan.
Yeah. Yeah, no, she was an open book. Like, she said what she thought, and which was great, because now when things happen, you know, we as a family, we talk about her all the time, and you know, we would often say, like, oh, what would Mum have thought about this, and what would she have done here? And we know, because she would always tell us her thoughts, and you know, it was one of her great qualities. She was so honest.
It's lovely to hear about her, and I appreciate you speaking. I can imagine, you know, how emotionally difficult it will still be for you. But of course, you always remember the good times as well, and I think that how you met, given you were at Celtic, and understand that Leanne was a supporter of the other side.
Yeah.
What do you recall of that particular night that you met?
We met on a Christmas night out. I think I was 21, Leanne was 20.
You were with the Celtic squad?
I was at the Celtic squad.
Your first club?
Yes. So if she thought I was full of money, then she was like gravely mistaken. But no, it was, her dad's a big Rangers fan as well, so they used to go to the Rangers games together, so it was a bit of a clash, but she wasn't the biggest football fan, really.
Really? I'd love to have known what her father felt the first time she came home and told him that she'd met a Celtic goalkeeper. Did he approve?
I don't know. I don't know if he did or not. Actually, maybe he didn't. But since then, we have grown a lot closer, and we're friends now, I think.
Now that was, I know you get married in 2011.
Yeah.
So you first met, what year would that have been again, Michael?
Gosh, we'd met 2004, 2005. Like,
yeah.
We were together like a long time. Right? It's over 20 years.
Yeah, and you had, what, 7 years at Celtic?
Yes.
Without making an appearance, but nevertheless, incredible period in your life, and obviously you left home, Northern Ireland, to come over to Glasgow. But I suppose the minute you meet Leanne, that's life-changing for you at that moment.
Yeah, she helped me grow as a person, and you know, she was just an amazing influence on me. And you know, it's so sad that she's not here anymore, but we always have memories, and and you know, like there's so many, and the good thing about these days is you've got so many pictures and videos to look back on, and you know, they do help when you want to try and remember things that happened in the past.
You had a brilliant playing career, Michael. I mean, I can imagine the pride and satisfaction she took from that, and obviously how it made her feel would have given you just as much satisfaction. Yeah,
but like, she was a big part of it. Like, she supported me so well. As I said earlier on, like, when we were down in England, like, I was away so much. Like, the kids, when we went down, Megan was only 3 months old, and we were down there for 7 years. Kieran was 3, and she basically a lot of time was bringing them up herself. I was away 46 games in the championship. Every game was an overnighter. Like, everything was 2 days away. I was playing international football, so you're 40 days a year you're away probably. So she had no family, no support, and at the time as well, when she went down, she was having, like, she had 5 years of undiagnosed cancer. When she went down, we didn't realise what it was, and she had a lot of health issues, and she was struggling, like, with health as well. So, like, it's amazing what she did for us as a family. Like, honestly, it's absolutely amazing.
Without her support and sacrifice, indeed her real consideration for yourself, do you think you could have achieved anything near what you did as a player?
No, absolutely not. No, the support that she gave me made me into the player that I became, and helped me achieve my dreams. And she sacrificed so much in terms of her career to help me, and I am forever grateful for that.
The career, you know, that you had, you know, was tremendous. You obviously you left Celtic because you needed to play. Mm-hmm. But the time at Celtic, you're working with two great managers, Martin O'Neill, Gordon Strachan, the array of players over your time there. I mean, it'd probably take too long to list them all, but I mean, you know, just to name a few: Mjällby, Lennon, Lambert, you know, Petrov, Hartson, Sutton, Moravchik, Nakamura. Shooting practice and training must have been soul destroying at times, Michael.
Well, that was when I was very young, and that's basically what I was doing. So I was just going up at sometimes training with the first team. I was still in the reserves and the youth team then, and we'd go up and join in a bit of training and do the shooting and stuff. And
Larsson, of course.
Yeah, of course. It was amazing to be just in and about it, and they were such big players, such big characters as well. So when you were training, like, if you had a goal and that you probably should have saved, like, they let you know about it. There was some ruthless shouts, to be honest, but it was good for you because they were fair in the other side of things, because if you made a save, you know, they would praise you and you would feel brilliant. Do you know what I mean? So it's a different environment now with modern day football, and you know, it was a good learning curve for me. I
mean, initially you'd have still been a teenager your first couple of years at Celtic, and it's just, I suppose football is a brutal environment as well. You have to develop almost like a rhino skin, so if they're mickey taking or they're picking you out for making a mistake, you've got to deal with that, haven't you?
Yeah, I think so.
It's just a harsh environment.
I think it was a good grinder for me. I think, like, as my career went on, like, a few managers actually spoke about how I was quite mentally strong and resilient, and maybe at the start, like, when dealing with the players that I did coming up as a young player, like, in goals and shooting practice and letting goals in and getting shouted at a wee bit, maybe that helped me.
In fairness, as time went on, would you develop the kind of resolve or courage to have a go back if you continually saved or denied them? Would you say to Sutton or Hartson, get it up you, or indeed Henrik at any point?
Absolutely no chance.
Really?
No chance at all.
Never happened.
Too much respect. I would never do that. Absolutely not. No,
I would have thought that would have been part of the survival kind of plan, you know.
That never happened back then. Maybe now, like, the times have changed a little bit, and the young team coming through at the moment are a different generation. They have a lot more confidence to say things back to other people who are older than them as well. So maybe now, but that was never my thing.
Your fellow Northern Irishman, of course, Martin O'Neill, Northern Irish, but did Neil Lennon look out for you at all?
Yeah, he was good. I liked him. But like, a few of the players were good. There was a good group, and it was just amazing for me to be in and about it and be training with them and being involved and sometimes being on the bench and stuff like that.
Fantastic goalkeeping coach in Terry Geno.
Yeah, he gave me my core fundamentals as a goalkeeper. He was a trained teacher as well, which I think helped him, and he was so good at explaining things. Never got angry with us, always constructive, and would make his points and would have high standards, and he was brilliant for me. David Marshall as well at the same time, I would probably say the same.
Yeah, I mean, I can personally vouch for Terry as a person. Great guy, absolutely fantastic guy, and as I said, a superb coach. But I mean, there was also a certain Stevie Woods, who's now regarded, one of the best in the business, goalkeeping coaches. But at that time, he was, academy level coming through?
Yeah,
Michael?
He would have been coming through in the academy, and we would do some sessions with him. And he's not changed at all. Totally enthusiastic, great person. Still speak to him. And I was in not that long ago at Celtic, and he was helping me out when I got into the coaching side of things.
That's class.
Yeah, no, he sat me down, and he went through his career going from player to coach, and his sort of mindset and philosophies, and he did a big presentation really off his own back, and it was so good of him to do that, and it was a great insight into a coach who's been at a top level for such a long time.
When you reflect on your time at Celtic, how disappointing was it? How did it affect you too much that you didn't get even the chance to play one competitive game? Yeah,
it would have been nice to play. I would have loved that. It would be a dream come true. But I sort of left. When I left, I had the option to sign a new contract, but I wanted to go and forge my own career, and I wanted to get experience, because the problem I had at Celtic is I didn't have any experience, and the only way I could get that, they wouldn't really let me go out on loan. They wanted to keep me in the building, so I had to go out and make my own way. And I said to myself, like, if I go out and play, I'll back myself to get back to Celtic or a good level. Do you know what I mean? I think I'm capable of doing that, so I just need to go and play, and I'll get to where I want to go to eventually.
In saying that, I mean, you didn't play, but I mean, you were on the bench for some incredible games. 2 cup finals, 2004, Henrik Larsson's last competitive game for Celtic. 2007, Neil Lennon's last competitive game for Celtic. You were on the bench, Barcelona, Nou Camp, March 2004. Famous obviously for the night David Marshall announced himself, John Kennedy, and a Rangers game at Ibrox, which was a victory. Was that, were those games alone incredible experiences for you?
Yeah, I think so. A lot of them were like, when I was about 19, 20, and just to be involved at that level in those games, it was just a dream come true. The first one being the Nou Camp. Then David Marshall obviously had the game of his life, and it was just amazing to be part of that. And me and him were in the youth team like a year before that, and I was just looking at going, wow, amazing, I can't believe he's done that. It's just like, it was so good to see him do things like that. Was there envy at all, or that'd have been a natural feeling, or was it just it was more like pleasure for him? Yeah, it was just delighted for him. Great fella, really fan with him, and I thought, well, I'd love to do that someday. I mean, you're often told as a player you've got one opportunity and you need to make the most of it. I mean, my word, he made the most of that night, didn't he? Yeah, he did. Incredible. Yeah, I remember afterwards there was like reporters outside his mum and dad's house and things like that. They were camped outside, so it was like it was an overnight front page success story, and it was a great time for him. So it was great to be in and about it and be in the background. I think like you've never changed in your career, Michael, and you got to the real top level with Northern Ireland as well. I don't think David's changed either. I think David's always stayed the same, and I always admire players like that even you can reach the pinnacle and get to the top, you don't change as a person, which I think is exceptionally difficult now, but the fact you don't, I think is testament to somebody. And David today is the same as he was back then, isn't he? Yeah, I think so. And it's testament to his family and his upbringing and people around him. He's just a normal fellow, Marsh, and everybody in football, don't think anybody's got a real bad word for him. He's really level-headed, and he can be quite funny at times as well. He's a really good boy. But of course you had to leave Celtic, as you said, to establish yourself. I suppose you actually had to prove to yourself that you did have it in you to be a pro. And saying that, when you were at Celtic, clearly you did play your first game as a pro. Can you remember it? Yeah, I went on loan to Stranraer. Yeah. It was New Year's Day 2005, I think. We beat Ayr United 1-0, and it was so wet and windy. I remember it was an own goal. Did you get clattered early on? No, I just remember the weather being brutal, and Stuart Miller was assistant manager, and Neil Watt, who I still speak to at Stranraer, and they were brilliant. I really enjoyed my time there, and it was amazing just to make your debut.
I mean, if I'd been part of their United management team at that time and I'd saw you in the team sheet, you'll understand. I'd have probably been thinking, right, go in hard, first chance you get, 50-50, see what this kid's made of.
Yeah.
But you came through it unscathed, did you? I
think so.
Clean sheet?
Yeah, I got a clean sheet and we won the game, but I can't remember. It's a long time ago. But I look back on it with fond memory, so it must have been a good day.
Coming through that must have meant the world to you?
Yeah.
No mistakes either?
No, I was actually, we had been off we had 2 weeks off at Christmas, and or a week off at Christmas, and I was in Northern Ireland, and there was I don't think we had mobile phones back then, so Terry Jano was trying to phone my house and trying to get a hold of me, saying that the Stranraer wanted to take me on loan, so I had to go back early to get the loan done, and then play in the game on the 1st of January.
I mean, you played 375 club games in your career. Brilliant games, which we'll soon touch on, but just for the significance of it, will that first game always be as special to you as most of the rest of them? Yeah,
I think it's a real milestone when you make your debut. It definitely is, and I love my time at Stranraer. It was brilliant, and it's one I look back on. Probably the first game and the last game, they do stick in your mind. I think that's fair to say.
Obviously, you had a loan spell at St Johnstone as well. But you particularly come to prominence when you go to Ross County, you repay Celtic, obviously, for them giving you a start by being part of that sensational Derek Adams side that beat Celtic in the semi-final at Hampden, 2010 Scottish Cup semi-final, incredible result. Could have almost cost Neil Lennon the chance of being Celtic manager as well. What's your memories of that game?
That was incredible. That was my first season playing first team football. I was late into it. I was 25, I think 24, 25, on the first full season playing regular. So that was sort of towards the end of it, and to be involved in a game like that was a dream come true. I remember the day after it, going into the shop and all the papers were front page. It was front page news. It was big at the time. We were a championship team, and we were never expected to get anything, and we actually won 2-0 on the day. And it was amazing memories. And at the time, Ross County hadn't been in the Premier League. I think that was before they'd been involved in a sort of higher profile games. So it was huge for the club.
What did that do for your status back home in Enniskillen? I mean, were you suddenly a superstar at that point?
I don't think so. No.
No, really?
I don't think so.
Local boy made good? No.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. Though, when you go home, everybody knows who you are, and not just because I played football. It's just a small town, and everybody kind of knows everybody.
What about for your parents? I mean, Carmel and Terry.
Yes.
That must have been huge for them to see their wee boy playing so well at the National Stadium and getting to a Scottish Cup final. That's incredible.
Yeah, it was. I remember we went out for a meal afterwards, and
they were there.
They were there. Yeah, they went to the game. My sisters as well. All my sisters and my brother. So I'm one of 5 children, so a big family, and it was great. My mum was so proud of me, Dad was so proud of me. It's great, and that's the great thing about playing football. It's a real privilege because you get to make your loved ones proud of you at times, and it's a great feeling.
I mean, your mum sadly passed away, 8 years ago, was it, Michael?
Yeah.
But does it mean all the more to you that she was still able to see moments like that for you? And
yeah, definitely. And she passed away 2017, just after I played in the Euros. And she was a great inspiration to me at that time as well, because she had been diagnosed with cancer, and I knew what she was going through. And obviously playing at the Euros is a big thing. You have a lot of scrutiny and a lot of pressure. And I sort of said to myself, well, I mean, yes, it is, in some sense, but what she's going through with their health problems and stuff, it pales in significance to that type of thing.
A lot of the players, coaches and managers I've spoken to on one-on-one, Michael, they often refer to their mother as being the classic scrapbook mother.
Yeah. Keeps
everything, photos and all that. Was your mum the same?
Yeah. And she'd love to tell people that when I was doing well who she was and things like that. She was funny. She was a great character, my mum. She was really, really funny.
That's brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah, she wasn't shy.
When you're hearing that and you're over here and you're hearing that, you must feel about 10 feet tall.
Yeah, no, it was lovely. It's lovely to make people proud like that. Your mum, obviously your mum's your mum, like, so.
How's your father keeping you all right?
Yeah, good, working away.
What kind of, what's he been like throughout your career? Has he been a harshest critic, or is he the other side of it? Is he just totally supportive, or?
Yeah, totally supportive. Not football person at all. My mum really wasn't either. No. When I signed for Celtic, they brought my mum and dad over alongside me when I was still in school, and it was the year Henrik scored 53 goals.
Right.
So like one of the scouts picked us up from Glasgow Airport, and we drove us to like Bothwell Bridge Hotel, and on the whole way he was talking about how Henrik was doing so well. And then we got into our hotel room, and my dad's like, "Who's this Henrik guy that you're talking about?" Like,
your father actually said Henrik who?
Yeah, so he doesn't know anything about football. Maybe got a little bit better as the years gone on, but he's a builder. He loves building houses and restoring houses and things like that, so that's his passion.
That's fantastic. He must have been one of the few people who didn't know who Henrik Larsson was.
Yeah, that's my dad. And my mum wasn't far behind him, I don't think.
Did you ever tell Henrik that?
We never had that type of intimate friendship, I don't think.
Oh, really?
No.
Really? I mean, behind the scenes, and from a media perspective, I mean, Henrik could be difficult. I mean, I don't mean that as a particular slight as such. Some people are easy with the media, others aren't. But what was Henrik like behind the scenes?
He was just like, there was like the team who were full of like top players and top characters, and then there was Henrik. You know, they all looked up to him. He was so good. He
was sensational.
Yeah.
I mean, he was sensational. In fairness, Henrik was always respectful, but I don't think he was always totally comfortable with the media. Fair enough. But as a player, tremendous. But behind the scenes, was he just focused, and did he just have that status, that aura?
Yeah, he just had the aura. He wasn't really particularly loud. Like that, as I said, there was loads of big characters in that group, but he just had that presence about him, and I think he was such a top player. Everybody looked up to him.
So Ross County going to a Scottish Cup final in your first full season was just, I mean, that's the stuff of dreams, isn't it?
Yeah, totally was, yeah.
And it was a good side, you know, good manager and a proper team in every respect, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, it was brilliant times for the club. I really enjoyed my time up there. I was there 2 years. And that was obviously the highlight of it, I'd say. There
was no superstars, there was no kind of big names as such, weren't it? I mean, you were all relative same level at that time, weren't you?
Yeah, it was a good team. Derek, you know, that was probably because Derek didn't want to treat anybody differently, the manager. He would always want everybody to be equal, and I suppose that is what happened with the team. There was no sort of like prima donnas. Everybody was in it for the team, you know, that type of thing.
And Derek's father, George, very good man, was also heavily influential in the Ross County success story, and, you know, director of football at the time. As a club, it was just a terrific setup, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. It was really well run. Obviously, sometimes they struggle to attract boys because of the distance away from the central belt, but no, I loved it up there. Again, George was really good with me. Derek was really good with me. And all the people, every time I go up there, all the fans and stuff, they always have nice and fond memories to talk about.
Falkirk, you played more league games for Falkirk than anyone else in your career. I think it was about 105. Very successful for you as well. Became captain, and you know, there was a couple of seasons in a row I think you were Players Player of the Year,
yeah,
which was testament to you. Those kind of awards would really, you know, especially mean a lot to you.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was nice. It just shows you that you're doing well, but the team did well. It was a real happy time for me. I loved working with Stephen Presley, who signed me initially, and there had been cutbacks, so it was a young team. Darren Dodds was the older head. He was the captain, and then it was dotted with a lot of young players who have gone on to have fantastic careers, like Craig Sibbald, Jay Fulton, Murray Wallace, like playing the English Championship, Stephen Kingsley, you know.
Yeah.
So some really good players. Probably forgot a few actually. And I really enjoyed it. It was brilliant. The training facilities at Stirling University were excellent, and we had some good times. We had won the Challenge Cup as well, which was a fun day out, and no, it was great memories. Stephen
Presley did really well there, doesn't he? And obviously from there he went to Coventry and developed his career down south quite dramatically. But what was Stephen's success back then? What do you think was behind that?
I don't know. I think all the players liked him. He worked tremendously hard, and I'm so happy he's back in the game now at a good level, and you know, I think he's done well at Dundee. And it's funny, he doesn't always get the best press in terms of, I don't know if he's got something about him that people don't kind of rub people the wrong way a wee bit, but like when you actually know him as a person, you know, he's a really good person, really good, funny, and like all the players at Falkirk really enjoyed him.
Yeah, you'd be hoping that the results will turn for him at Dundee, because it's a difficult time for Stephen at the minute. But he's, yourself, there's a lot of people who've got big respect for Stephen.
Yeah, I think he's a little bit misunderstood by people who don't know him, you know. But I think I hope it goes really well from there.
Yeah. Falkirk, as we say, was a great time for you. Hamilton Accies, I mean, wow. Again, you repay Celtic with another stunning, humiliating defeat for them, with all due respect to Hamilton. But you go to Parkhead and you win 1-0, 2014. Hamilton's first win there for 76 years. An Alec Neil team, I mean, I covered that game that day and you were terrific value for it. You had enough to do, but I don't think anyone questioned that Hamilton deserved that game. Incredible day for you.
Yeah, no, it was an amazing time. And we were doing really well in the league at the time. Ronnie McDonald, the old chairman, sent me a table through recently of that time. I think we were like top of the league after like in October time. Yeah. Obviously, the start of the season, but you know, Alec Neil was the manager. Alec was brilliant for that club, and put together a real good group of boys. And we missed him when he left.
I think Hamilton genuinely went there that day full of belief that you could get a result.
Yeah, I think Alec really installs that in his teams. Like he doesn't look up to people. He's always like, you know, I'm equal to everybody here, and that was kind of like the attitude he were put in the team.
I think, if I remember rightly, there was a vulnerability about Celtic, because that was Ronnie Dial had only been in the job, I think, 4 or 5 months, following in the footsteps of Neil Lennon. Incredible act to follow. But I think Celtic were seen. I mean, mind you, Celtic had Virgil van Dijk at the back, but nevertheless, you were going to Parkhead full of confidence and good form.
Yeah, we were. As I said, we were in good form. Confidence is such a big thing in football, and Celtic maybe weren't in the best of form, but we weren't going there thinking we were going to win. We were more hoping we were going to win, and we had belief that we could win on our day, but 9 times out of 10 probably don't win.
Yeah. I mean, what I can't recall is what time of the game you scored. Second half. There was still a bit of time to play. Mm-hmm. But the calibre of performance was terrific. Yeah. And at Hamilton, as I say, that was another great spell for you that took you to the Euros with Northern Ireland. Mm-hmm. We'll touch on Northern Ireland soon, but in terms of the club career, at the Euros, you became one of the most talked about goalkeepers in Europe. Mm-hmm. Norwich would come in for you and you would join Norwich City. But I wondered, what other options did you have at the time because of the high profile and your performances at the Euros? Yeah. I'm imagining you had plenty of offers all over the place.
Yeah, I did. But I had, at Hamilton, I was coming out of going towards the end of my contract, and Hamilton had offered me a new contract. There was a team in the English Championship which had offered me a contract as well. But my dad, who doesn't know much about football, said, like, why don't you just see your contract out and then see what happens in the summer? You know, you could have a really good time at the Euros, and then you could have lots of offers, and that's really how it transpired. I played the first couple of games, but then obviously played the third game against Germany, and I got man of the match. And you know, then after that, it's funny football, like 90 minutes. So lots of offers just came on the table straight away.
It's incredible. I mean, a defeat is actually what changed your life in a way. Would that be fair to say?
Yes, I suppose, because of the nature of the group, we had to keep the score down. Really, I had to go through and goal difference, which we managed to do.
Well, you'd beaten Ukraine before, hadn't you? Which was momentous. That was an incredible night.
That was amazing. Yeah, that was the second game. We lost the first game against Poland. We didn't really do ourselves justice on a performance level. We lost 1-0, and then the second game we were just on it from the first minute, and we won 2-0. Garth McCauley and Niall McGinn scored the 96-minute winner, and then obviously the Germany game I played. I got man of the match, and we lost 1-0 and went through.
So brilliant advice from your dad. Fantastic advice for someone who doesn't know anything about football. Sorry, Mr. McGovern. But no other offers. Did you not get offers from Europe?
Yeah. Oh, I got. Yeah.
Tell all.
Oh, I can't remember. Like, there was so many. There was loads of different offers. There was like offers from Italy, Switzerland, like a few obscure ones.
Name the clubs.
I honestly can't remember. And see, a lot of them are like agents phoning you, like out of nowhere, going, "Would you consider this club and would you consider this club?" Like middlemen almost trying to, even though I had an agent, they're always trying to like kind of muscle in. Southampton in England as well. Springs to mind. I can't remember that many other clubs. Bristol's.
Any of the big ones in Scotland?
There was talk of Rangers, like at the time, a few times there was been out with Rangers a few times, but nothing ever happened on that side. I think that was maybe before I actually went to the Euros. That was maybe more during the season against Hamilton.
So, big moment for you in your club career. Why Norwich?
I'd worked with Alec Neil. He'd been the manager of Hamilton, and then he was then the manager at Norwich, and they just got relegated to the championship, so it was probably the best offer on the table.
Yeah, what did he say to you? I mean, clearly he knew you very well, but what was the decisive element from Alec?
He wanted to come in and he wanted to shake up the goalkeeping department. They had John Ruddy and Declan Rudd, and Declan were leaving that season, and they wanted somebody to come in and challenge for number one. So it was me and John in the first season that I was there. Now,
John Ruddy, of course, would play for England. You would have had no guarantees about playing, I take it, or I'm presuming. So
no,
there was no kind of favouritism because you'd worked with Alec before.
Yeah, no, it was viewed as you're coming in to challenge to get in the team. Like, it wasn't that you're coming in to be number two. And I did play the first season. I was in and out the team, although the first season was difficult as a team and individually. I didn't have my best season as well. So, and then obviously John left in that summer, and I stayed on, and then Tim Krul came in the next season.
7 years at Norwich, and so many good memories for you. Probably overall you'd like to have played more, but when you did, you never let the team down. Great affection for you still at Norwich. Big credit to you, not just for how you were on the park, but doing research on you, I could see what the club, how they appreciated how you were with other people behind the scenes. You know, you were a mentor figure for a lot of the younger players. How you bonded with everyone, your total appreciation of Norwich. What I found incredible as well, Michael, was the array of players with either Old Firm, SPFL or international level. Extraordinary amount of players. I mean, off the top of my head, Russell Martin, Grant Hanley, Stephen Naismith, Adam Ida, Timo Pukki, Stephen Whittaker, Graham Dorrans, Kenny McLean. You want to name a few others?
Yeah, there's loads of them.
I mean, it's James Maddison.
Yeah.
Incredible array of players, and good people as well.
Yeah, brilliant. Like everybody you mentioned there, really good people. Wes Houlihan as well was at Livingston. Forgot about him.
Wes Houlihan.
Yeah, so many. There's a lot more actually. So it was good. Yeah, things
Kyle
in common.
Laffert,
Kyle Laffert, Billy Gilmore.
Billy Gilmore, Billy Gilmore,
Yeah, so many. They're all good people, and I really enjoyed it down there. It was always good when there was people who'd played in Scotland and you had that sort of common interest, and you knew you could always talk about Scottish football because it was talked about down there quite a lot as well. Yeah,
over the years, Michael, I spoke to a lot of guys that have played for Norwich, Paul Gallagher being another one. They've always told me it's a great club and it's a fantastic area to live as well.
Yeah, no, we loved living down there. It was really safe. As I said to you, my daughter was 3 months old, Kieran was 3 years old, and they've spent a lot of their time, 7 years we were down there, a long time. And when I wasn't away, you know, the weather was lovely. We would go to the beaches. There's 50 beaches in Norfolk. It's an amazing place to live. Really loved it.
Before we met today, I watched your last ever interview for Norwich City TV, and I could tell how emotional that was for you.
Yeah, I remember it. Probably hit me by surprise. I just really enjoyed my time down there. I would have loved to play it a bit more, but, you know, I still played. Won the championship twice. The second time we won the championship, I came into the team, played a number of games, made a good contribution, played in the Premier League. You know, a dream come true to play in the Premier League. So some great memories on the pitch, off the pitch, people, fantastic. Still speak to a lot of the people down there.
Russell Martin, of course, came back up here in the summer to become Rangers manager. And did you keep in touch with Russell? Yeah,
we spoke. And then we have kept in touch, loosely. And then when he got the job, I spoke to him, we had a few voice notes and what have you, and then obviously when he left it again I spoke to him as well.
And Russell would have played in front of you, of course, at centre half at Norwich. I mean, how was he as a player in your mind and as a person?
Yeah, as a player, he was the captain, a real leader. When I came in, he helped me settle in, helped everybody settle in. As a person, a fantastic person. One of the best you'll meet in football, I think. Russell, really, really good guy. So it was sad, and it was sad to see what happened to him at Rangers, and it would have been tough for him. But he's had things to deal with in his life. He's resilient, and he'll be fine, and he'll bounce back.
I was going to ask, obviously, when he's here and you're seeing the pressure he's under and he's struggling, but when you see the reaction to him, some of the fan reaction to him was brutal. And clearly when you're at Rangers and Celtic, there's no hiding place. How did you feel when you saw some of the stuff that he was having to put up with? Did that anger you privately, knowing him?
Just sometimes it crosses the line to become personal. I think you can criticise managers and players for things that happen on the pitch or the decisions, but sometimes it does become a bit personal, and it's sad to see. It's not something you want somebody who you know is a good person to have to deal with. But equally, he wouldn't want my sympathy. He's a big boy. He knows when you become manager, you just got to deal with it, and there's a lot of noise that comes with the job, and just deal with it.
Where do you feel it went wrong for him here? Apart from the obvious results, but was it just the wrong club for his type of philosophy, or can you put your finger on it why it didn't work for him?
It's a big question. I think to start with, I think certain people weren't, even happy he got the job in the first place, and then you're always then sort of fighting an uphill battle. You then have to have good results quickly, and he didn't get that, and then it just becomes difficult, and the way things went. He
played for Rangers, of course, but do you think there was still an element of maybe underestimating everything that came with being Rangers manager? Do you think he was maybe taken a wee bit aback by the intense scrutiny of him?
Possibly. That's a question probably you'd have to ask him. But the scrutiny he was sort of had to deal with is one of the worst I've seen in a while up here. It was a really difficult time for him.
Do you think he's a far better manager than he showed up here?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, he did really well at Swansea, he did well at Southampton, got promoted to the Premier League with Southampton, and I'm sure he'll get another job and he'll be successful again. Yeah,
and you feel he'll show his like true worth at another club?
Yeah, because he's a fighter. Russell's a fighter. He's an intelligent guy. He's a good coach. He's got a good coaching staff as well, so he'll bounce back and he'll show his worth in the future, I'm sure.
And of course, the other side of Glasgow, you saw Adam Ida coming, and big moments for Celtic. He came and he helped transform their league campaign at the time. They won the title, and then of course the Scottish Cup winner. But he was never, I don't think, 100% accepted by the support. I remember interviewing you at the time when he signed, and you said, give him the love, and he'll respond. And I think when he got the love, he did. But like with Russell, did you feel sorry for him that he didn't seem to really get the full backing?
I think it was difficult. I think the price tag for Adam kind of affected.
Was that the biggest thing, you think?
I think it affected the sort of perception about him. I think they paid quite a lot of money for him, and
which wasn't his fault, to be fair.
No, I know, and that's the thing. And obviously, there's a different dynamics. When he first came up, he had Kyogo, and he was trying to fight neck and neck to get in the team and take a chance when he come, and then when it came, and then obviously Kyogo left, and there's less pressure then to perform and stuff like that, and I don't know what his feelings were on it, but it was, I wouldn't say it was a bad spell for him at all. I thought there was still loads of positives that he did really well, and I think he scored a number of goals as well, so maybe it wasn't as perfect as he would have hoped, but I still think it was a positive experience for him.
Yeah, you think overall when he can reflect in his Celtic career and keep his head held high?
Oh, I would have thought so. He scored a winner in the cup final against Rangers. Stuff of dreams, isn't it? And I think he scored 20 goals in last season as well. And you see Celtic Rangers now. When 20 goals is not to be sniffed at.
You leave Norwich. You come back up here. Hearts.
Yeah.
Now you'd worked with Craig Gordon at Hearts, and another thing looking into your career, Michael, which is I think extraordinary, The amount of international goalkeepers you've had as teammates is quite something. You know, when I go back to your Celtic time, you've Big Rob Douglas, Magnus Hedman, Dimitri Karin. You know, at Norwich, you had John Ruddy, you had Tim Krul, you've had David Marshall,
Angus
Gunn. You know, it's about 9-10 goalkeepers international level you've worked with. How do you, when you think about all of them, it's probably unfair to ask you the standouts. In fact, it would be unfair, so I wouldn't want you feeling you've insulted anyone. But there's some remarkable goalkeepers in there for you to, you know, to learn from, to enjoy working with.
Yeah, no, I mean, very, very fortunate to work with them, and I'll pick little bits up off each of them.
Yeah.
And when I was playing, I always wanted to get better, always was looking to learn, try and get an edge. So, and again as well, great people, the whole lot of them, they were brilliant with me. I really enjoyed my time at all of them.
Craig Gordon is an exceptional story, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it's brilliant. When I went to Hearts, I sort of went to Hearts to sort of fill in for him because he was coming back from his injury. And, you know, so I seen him on his rehab and he was joining in training, but his leg was still sore. Like, it took him a while to get back, and I was looking at him thinking, geez, that's fantastic, he wants to come back. He was 41 probably at the time, and I thought to myself, what a great attitude to get back. But I think the Scotland thing in the back of his head maybe was keeping him going, because he knew there was maybe a potential to get back in the Scotland team, and the Scotland team was doing well, and there might be more tournaments, and that's obviously what's happened, so he did the right thing. Can
you give us an insight into how driven Craig was in his rehab? Because at that age, recovering from such a horrific leg break, that's extraordinary resilience for him.
Yeah, no, he would do all his work in the gym. He would wear different sort of shin pads, and he would go and get them professionally made. Like, he did everything to give himself the best chance of getting back to a level where he wanted to be. And I mean, you look at him now, he played in that Scotland game the other day, so all the work and the sacrifice which he has done is worth it.
That's truly inspirational for anyone else that's seen him at close quarters.
Yeah, no, it's great person as well, great to see it. I was delighted from the other night, and you know, it's an example of anybody else who has bad injuries and has setbacks that you know, tough times don't last forever. You know, there's always potential for things to happen when you get back fit.
I mean, he gets left out for the Euros last summer, which would have been so difficult for him to take. And Steve Clarke subsequently comes back from, and people would have understood if he'd have said to Steve Clarke, you know what, forget it, I'm not interested. But he comes back, totally professional. Do you think he now deserves to go to the World Cup? If he can stay fit, do you feel the World Cup is a proper reward for him? He should be there.
It would be nice for him, yeah, most definitely.
And he's capable, of course, as well.
Of course he is.
He's shown.
He's just shown that his injury. I spoke to him last month at the game they played against Greece, Scotland-Greece last month. I spoke to him, and he said that his injury they had, you know, it was quite a serious injury. He was out for like 4 months, and then he had a few sort of niggles coming back. So for him to have that big injury and not have played, and then go back and then play in Scotland in the 2 games that he played in, you know, that shows you that he deserves to go and be part of the squad. And obviously between now and the end of the season, I'm sure we'll be hoping he'll get more games.
Of course, him and Angus Gunn in particular are fighting out for the number 1 jersey, and I wouldn't ask you to pick who the number 1 is for obvious reasons, but I mean, you'll have a lot of time for Angus Gunn as well.
Yeah, brilliant. Still speak to him regularly, and you know, I thought he was very, very good in the games in October. You know, some really key saves. You know, you look back on now, as goalkeepers, we look back on them when Kenny scores the winner, you think, well, what about his save in the top corner? Nobody thinks about that apart from goalkeepers in the Greece game, I'm sure it was. So delighted for him, and both of them will be hoping to get some games before the end of the season.
When you were with Kenny McLean at Norwich, did he ever beat you for the halfway line? Did he ever try it?
I don't recall.
Did you ever see him score a goal like that?
No, I couldn't believe it.
Were you in touch with him?
Yeah, Kenny got me tickets for the game.
Did he?
Yeah, still really friendly with Kenny. I was delighted for him, absolutely delighted for him, because, you know, at Norwich he plays every week and he's a captain, but he goes away with Scotland and he doesn't always play, and he'll come on and what have you, and you know, he still is brilliant for the group, and you know, great teammate, and contributes when he does play. So then for him to have that moment, it was brilliant.
I've got huge admiration for Kenny McLean, because I also think he's one of the most underrated players, and yet when you look in his career, particularly with Scotland, huge moments where he's delivered for Scotland, and that says a lot for him.
Yeah, and I think in that moment when like Ben Gallendoke went down injured, the manager turned to somebody and he went for Kenny, because he knew you could trust him. You know what you're getting with Kenny. You know he's experienced, he's a leader, and you know what you get.
Let's be honest, when you were watching that moment and he's on the halfway line, was it going through your mind he might try what he did?
No, it's funny because I went to the Scotland game with my son and daughter, and because they were born in Glasgow, they're Scotland fans. I think I'm Northern Ireland, so when a goal goes in, I'm clapping, but I'm not like cheering the way they were jumping up and down. When Kenny scored, I was like jumping up and down. I was like, it's brilliant. I was absolutely delighted from.
Was it possible to feel sympathy for Kasper Schmeichel though?
No.
Oh, really?
No, I mean, there
wasn't a goalkeepers union there, no?
It is what it is. Like, I mean, I don't think he's had a lot of highs. Kasper played in a lot of big games, and he'll be disappointed to get beat from there. But he's a big boy. He'll be fine. And Scotland probably deserved the joy more than Denmark.
Were you ever beaten from there as a goalkeeper?
I don't think I was. Believe it or not, I've been beaten a lot of times, but not from there. Maybe somebody might reply and say that I was.
I mean, we touched on the Euros earlier. An incredible moment in your life, incredible experience. Michael O'Neill again doing a brilliant job for Northern Ireland. You've got Stephen Robinson, who from there became a top manager. Jimmy Nicholl. I mean, it's a great manager. It's a brilliant backroom staff.
Yeah,
and others I've no mentioned, of course.
Yeah, no, it was brilliant. Really enjoyed my time in Northern Ireland. Like one of the highlights of my career, being involved. Michael was brilliant for me, gave me opportunities to play. It was superb. And
33 caps. Wikipedia's wrong, isn't it?
Yeah, it says I've got 32.
33 caps and a good clean sheet record for you.
Yeah. I think I've got 15 or 16 clean sheets in the 33 caps. So it was a real solid defensive unit that we had going at the time.
Yeah. Coming from Enniskillen, Michael, to play for Northern Ireland, can you tell me what that meant?
Yeah, it's complex, Northern Ireland. A lot of people support the Republic, a lot of people support the North. It's where you're from, basically what religion you are.
And you were born on July the 12th,
I was born on July the 12th. My mum was from the Republic as well, so she would always be getting us to support the Republic and that. But, it's one of them ones. When I played for Northern Ireland, I felt that I represented Northern Ireland. A lot of people in Northern Ireland feel like they're from Britain or they're from the supporting Republic. It's a complex place, but I always felt proud to play for Northern Ireland, and it was the highlight of my career. I'm
guessing you were brought up in the sense that religion was neither here nor there.
No,
it's
we
the
weren't.
Person. That's all that matters.
Yeah, we went. Me and my sister and my brother went to the integrated primary school in Enniskillen. It was the first class and the first day there. That was like new thing back then. There was no integrated schools, so my mum and dad didn't want us to go into like the Catholic school or the Protestant school, and when the opportunity to go to that came up, we went there.
Sadly, Michael, the town is synonymous with one of the worst terrorist atrocities. I think you were only 3 when there was the bombing in Enniskillen. 11 people killed, so many others injured. Clearly your age, you wouldn't have known at that time, but what's your recollections of it when you look back now, and was there an impact on the family? Direct impact at all? So
there was no direct impact on our family, thankfully, but obviously there was so many people affected by it in the town, and it's one of them things that people of a certain age, when you say to them you're from Enniskillen, they know like instantaneously what they think about, and it's the bombing, and in fairness, apart from that, like we were quite sheltered from the troubles. There was bits and bobs going on, and it was always on the news, and it was quite scary actually growing up, but apart from that tragic bombing, we were pretty unaffected. I think in the past I've spoken to you before, there was a particular individual you thought was inspirational at that time, Michael. Yeah, I think it was Mr. Wilson. One of his, I think that was his name, one of his sons were killed in the bombing. Son or daughter, I'm not sure, I can't remember now. And my dad always looked up to him, because straight after it happened and his child died, that he came out and he did a interview for the news, and he pleaded with the other side, like the loyalists, not to retaliate, not to have a tit for tat situation, which was commonplace then. And he didn't want anybody else to die. You know, his child had just died, and he didn't want any revenge for it. He just wanted peace. And sometimes you would see him about town, and my dad would always comment on what a great man that person was.
It's such a horrific moment for the town. If you're just looking at the town itself, what kind of town is it? The people in the town and the kind of area, how proud are you of the town? How would you describe it to people?
Yeah, it's a lovely place. There's 12,000 people live in it. Set on a loch. It's beautiful. I've got so many good friends from there still. Everybody loves football. They play football. They're in the football. There's so many football clubs. It's so popular over there. They play Gaelic football as well, rugby. With my wife's funeral there recently, I had 11 of my friends come over from Enniskillen, which was amazing. Like, good people.
And as a brother of a well-known English-based manager, Kieran McKenna, who is your best man?
Yeah, James, yeah.
Yeah, and what, you came through school with him locally?
Yeah, we went to school together. Yeah, James.
Yeah, I mean, of course, Kieran was recently linked with a Celtic job. I wonder if you were right in touch with Kieran going, what's happening?
Kieran's very busy. He doesn't often get back to you promptly, but he's done unbelievably well. He's just one of them fellas that, you know, everything he does, he's good at. You know, if he plays football, he's good at. He plays pool, he's good at. He plays golf, he's good at. He just puts everything into it. Like, we met on holidays 2 years ago, and I was asking him about his day to day, and he's 6 a.m. till 6 p.m. in the training ground, and then he comes home. He has a couple of hours with the family, and then he's like 8 till 10 on the laptop. So he's so driven. He's such a workaholic, and on top of that, he's clever. He knows the game. He's worked with some top coaches. He's learned a lot, and you see the success he's had at Ipswich. He's a legend down there.
But back in the day, you would have just known him as your best man, James.
Yeah.
His wee brother.
Yeah. We used to play football. Kieran would always play football with us because he was so good, and he would play up, and we'd play together. But great times, great people, great family, and I'm so happy he's doing so well.
You think one day he could yet be Celtic manager?
Potentially. I mean, I don't see why not, but I think at the moment he's invested in Ipswich, and you know, they love him down there, and he's got a job to do. I think he sees it like that.
But his older brother clearly is something special for you. Yeah,
James and I, you know, we go back. We were in school together. He was my best man. Him and his sister and I run the Manor House Hotel, the family hotel in Enniskillen, and they're doing really well. And he's a great fella.
So now, Michael, you were Queen's Park goalkeeping coach up until the summer. I know you'd like to directly get back into football, but at the moment your priorities for Kieran and Megan, understandably.
Yeah, it's difficult for me to go back into full-time football at the moment because of the kids and what's happened. And initially, at the moment, it's just no full-time work for me at the moment, yeah.
But we're here at Tory Glen, and I know you've got a goalkeeping academy. Tell us about it.
Yeah, I do it here a couple of nights a week. Goalkeepers ranging from 6 years old, 7 years old to 14, 15, some a wee bit older as well. So I really enjoy that. You know, they're an enthusiastic bunch, and it's something I really enjoy. I enjoy coaching them, I enjoy trying to improve them, I enjoy just when they get a little bit better.
Have we got some top young keepers coming through, you think?
Yeah, I think so. You know, I see even in Tory Glen to come down and watch the kids, like there's so much football goes on here at the weekends. It's great. It's great to see, and the coaching's getting better and better. So, you know, I don't see why not in the future we can have a lot more goalkeepers coming through. Just
like the coaches we've touched on had a big influence on you, what would it mean to you if one day one of the boys or girls that you'd coached went on to a good level and referenced you as an influence? What would that mean to you?
Yeah, I suppose that would be proud, and I hadn't really thought about it too much, but that would be a real kick if that did happen. And I suppose that is essentially the aim when you break it down, is to try and improve people, try and pass on your knowledge for them to improve and them to achieve things. And you know, it would be great if that could happen.
And how could boys and girls get involved in your academy here, Michael? Tell us
just
what do they need to do?
Yeah, I've got like Instagram, Facebook. I know I should be a lot more active on it. I haven't really pushed it. Laid back and that type of things, but you know, you can get me on like Instagram or Facebook, or you know, email me, it's easy.
Michael, can't thank you enough for your time, and we're so sorry for your loss. And but it's been brilliant talking about Leanne and your wonderful career as well. And we certainly wish you the best.
Thank you.
Thank you, Michael.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Thank you.